GZM Shows and the creators of 6 Minutes are rolling out their newest audio adventure with the podcast Discovering Dad. A cautious single dad with a secret past and his rebellious kids embark on a thrilling quest complete with hidden treasure, villains, and a family curse. New episodes of Discovering Dad roll out weekly starting June 11th on Apple Podcasts. Follow the show so you never miss an episode, or listen early and ad-free as a GZM Shows subscriber. Go to gzmshows.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Alexis Ohanian. You may know me as one of the co-founders of Reddit, but more recently, a large part of my identity is being a father to my wonderful daughters. In my podcast, Business Dad, I hope to open the conversation about working parents a bit. You'll get to hear from a wide range of business dads, from Rainn Wilson and Guy Raz to Todd Carmichael and Shane Battier, to find out how they balance being a dad with a successful career. Business Dad is available now, so be sure to listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
When Clutch formed back in 1991, their current singer, Neil Fallon, wasn't singing with the band. It was a guy named Roger Smalls. Neil took over for Roger pretty much from the get-go and has been with the band ever since. We're talking 13 studio albums. And you gotta love Clutch's story. Buddies from high school, basically they're now cult-like status. They are tour juggernauts, they're riff lords, and they're great guys. And when Neil was a guest of the podcast, we talked about binge watching BBC documentaries. He shared a story about having a dinner with Dave Grohl and worldwide fame. He talked about Dee Snider dismantling the PMRC censorship back in the day. Playing D&D came up, so did seeing Juice Newton in concert. He talked about being electrocuted at a concert, the power of social media, playing Red Rocks with Mastodon, and Neil talked about aliens visiting Earth and that rabbit hole of lies on the internet. Listen to this.
Sometimes I think octopus or octopi are alien, but then again, I'm not a marine biologist.
Very smart.
Yeah, incredibly smart and unique. But I'll say this as a blanket statement. I think it would be very arrogant for us to assume that in the vast, endless expanse of the universe, that we're the only ones.
Right.
And probably can't we may not even recognize it if we're standing right in front of us, or perhaps we're incapable because of the way our brain and biology or what have you. I certainly think it's possible. Just because you see something in the sky that you doesn't understand doesn't mean it's a spaceship. But I'm always looking up, waiting and hoping for that time. But
yeah, same. You know, I've seen those videos where, you know, it'll be like a newscaster, say, or whatever, and they're doing their report live on the scene somewhere or whatever, and then they catch that the subtle eye change. Like, you notice the eye change right here where look, you know, reptilian eyes and all that. And it's like, not sure about that. But
yeah, that's the internet rabbit hole. It's like now anytime I go online, I have to tell myself, most likely what you're about to see is a lie.
Yeah, man, online's a slippery slope, man. Doesn't matter what it is.
It's kind of a bummer where I remember the early 90s, like, wow, the internet. It's like we're all going to be able to say whatever we want to whoever we want and exchange information. Who knew that there were so many liars among us?
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
Talmor, Sheshin Murachi. Talmor is my home. My family have worked the land for generations. My gran says the island does not belong to us, but we belong to the island. And we must be ready, for a great evil is coming. And death follows with it.
Listen and subscribe to the latest season of Undertow, The Harrowing, a Storyglass production presented by Realm, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey there, it's Rachel Ballinger, and I am extremely excited to invite you to Rachel Uncensored. It's my podcast where I sit down and get real with my friends and celebrity guests, where we talk about all sorts of topics. And sometimes we might be under the influence when we do so. We cover things from personal stories to hot button issues. And it's the only place on the internet you can find an uncensored version of me. It's a side of me that you might not have seen before because it's not the most family or brand friendly. But don't worry, I'm still sort of slightly a decent human being. If you're intrigued, then make sure you check it out. New episodes drop every Wednesday. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on the fun and candid conversations we have here on Rachel Uncensored.